No, I think I lost that woman's dad. I hope not. Anyway, the union is digging in, and now a former CEO is speaking up. Why former Verizon Wireless boss Denny Striegel, that name should ring a bell to you, right? He sees what's happening with Boeing in South Carolina and worries that it's not staying with Boeing in South Carolina. He is also the author of Managers, Can You Hear Me Now? I'm just worried, to any politicians, can you hear me now? I mean, I think this is very scary stuff.
Neil, very, very nice to be with you. If my understanding of the issue today and what your last speaker talked about, first of all, I think it's an allegation. This actually was a complaint issued by the general counsel of the NLRB. What happens now is Boeing and the union has an amount of time between now and June to settle their differences. If they're unable to settle their differences, then they both have to appear before an administrative law judge to explain their position, to argue the case. So here.
But that's a whole separate issue. They'll explain that. What the company does in the meantime to expand its operations and beef up its overall business, they have to move on beyond this and continue to look at the bigger picture, right? So the point I was trying to raise with the prior guest, Danny, and just help me with corporate policy here, you really have to show the quid pro quo, right? You have to show the clear damage done, that either workers have lost their jobs or factories have been shut down in one place,
Neil, of course,
right?
Of course you do. In fact, the fact of the matter is that in Washington State, Boeing added jobs.
That's right.
There was no work, no existing work that was shifted from Washington State to South Carolina. What happened in South Carolina is new work.
From your vantage point, you've dealt with labor issues, Verizon, of course. I don't know whether it's as unionized today as it was back when you were running things, or Verizon Wireless. But what's to stop a CEO? Because I always think, guys like you got so many things to juggle, so many headaches. I think you just could you get this headache off away? You're going to say, I don't need the fuss. I'm just going to go to Singapore. I'm going to go to China. I don't need it.
You're right. Once you have a union, you can't get rid of it. There is almost nothing you can do to get the union out of your hair. But as in Verizon Wireless, we worked hard to make sure that employees didn't feel the need to join a union. So the most important thing that managers can do is to show their employees that they listen to them, they're fair to them, they're consistent, and in that case, a union never comes to be. Well, I mean, why in the private sector has fewer and fewer people joined unions? They don't find the need that was once there. The unions served their purpose, and they did it very well 50 and 60 years ago. Today, the goal of good management should be not to have it necessary for their people to join a union.
I want to pick your brain on this, Danny, because when I look at the earnings that come through, we're getting the first quarter results in, so many, not all, but many of the international players, I look at Intel, I look at IBM, big growth abroad, big growth in Asia, big growth in Latin America. Time and again, the catalyst behind their stunning growth, maybe the exception of Apple, which had very strong sales here in the U.S., great numbers here in the U.S., it's coming from abroad. And there's a reason for that. And I'm wondering whether unions see that.
Well, unions should see that, because one of the reasons jobs are moving offshore is because of the higher cost of operating with unions.
So you think that's why we don't see the job gains we otherwise would?
I think it's
because of that.
To be fair, Neil, I think it's part of it. I think what we're also seeing is an administration that pays lip service to business. When an administration says things that sound to be business friendly, and then really don't do them, I mean, that's part of the issue.
Well, I had it from a very high authority when I was looking at this at Fox News earlier, Danny, that the administration, officially, though, dismissing and keeping its distance from this NLRB case, was actively involved in it and in promoting it, just to stir up the union pot.
Well, it doesn't surprise me one bit. My experience has been that whenever you have a White House that is democratic, you are going to have favorable positions to unions.
But wouldn't you also want the net that you want jobs, right? You don't care whether maybe you prefer their union jobs, but You know that, and this, and this woman was a very nice woman here, but I'm just saying, you risk sacrificing 1,000 jobs to make a union point. To what end?
First of all, of course you want jobs. And what's occurring in the United States today is there's a lot of discussion about we want jobs. But what's happening, what we're seeing is more regulation, more rules. We don't see an administration that helps business grow. You don't see it. And when we do see business with the president, we see people standing behind the president almost as props. I hate to say it that way, but that's what it appears.
Wow. Strong stuff. Teddy Striegel, thank you very much. Very good.